go. Just show you this lovely cloud.
Last week, it was the last day of our 2016 summer cruise, with a sail back from Burnham on the Crouch to the Medway. This week, I go racing. It was the second of 2 races just for single-handed or short-handed sailing, and I do it on my own.
So we've left the Crouch.
It is Sunday the 4th of September and Ian today is doing a single-handed sailing race in Seahorse. So the winds today are between 20 and 25 mile an hour and I can hardly hold the camera still looking at this. We're on Pintail today. We'd planned this a while back to be like camera boat, have a nice little sail, bit of lunch. It's gonna be survival. We are very blessed today to have our friend Steve on board. He's come to help out as Mum's still rather poorly, and we've also got Izzy on board and the dog and Dad. We're just about to send his boat out into all this wind. Okay, we've just got out the lock. I've just found Ian. He's got 1 reefing by the looks of it. I think he needs 2, but I'm not on board to say that, so there we go. Good luck, honey bunny. Whoa. So what we've done is we've picked up Mum and Dad's mooring, which is where we normally keep Seahorse at the moment. So we're on the sort of start line here. Still really windy. Here's my mate Dave in shifter. And he's sensibly reefed.
Coming over so you can get on the camera better.
He likes to be on camera, Dave does. I think we're going to find it really difficult to keep up with everyone today because, you know, we're just going to be cruising along and they've got proper wind. We're going to be doing sort of 7 knots, see who should normally do in this wind. Okay, 1 minute to go. We've just had the last hoop for the minute.
I know what you're thinking. It doesn't look like much wind, does there? And you'd be right, there really isn't. It had dropped off to single figures as the start sequence came. But there was plenty more to come.
The wind's now picked up. 40 seconds. I think I could probably go. I'm being a bit chicken.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's about 11 boats, so that's not a bad turnout for quite a miserable day. Fantastic wind though. I'm thinking now maybe I should have gone through the wind.
We're going. Whether Valkyrie wants to or not, although he's going to push me up. Isn't he? He's going as well. Good.
Wasn't the best start I've ever made, but as the only sailor who was on his own, it was a bit risky mixing it with everyone with not a lot of water around and a lot of mud and moored boats, so I just played it safe. The race started, as it always has to really when you start from the Medway Yacht Club line, with a run down what we call Heartbreak Reach towards the Wilsonian Sailing Club where we turn right.
Well, looking good. The Sonata, as Sonatas do, is beating us sensibly, of course, but I should have legs on him upwind as long as I can sort it out.
It was a bit of a run at this point, and in light winds, the racy people got keen and pulled up their spinnakers. First racing of us just stuck with poling out jibs, or in my case, sailing it goosewind. Once we'd finally cleared the corner of St Mary's Island, we started to get into the true wind, and there were some pretty evil puffs coming down across the water.
This boat here apparently was an ex-Navy boat, and Steve, who we're with today, used to be the bosun on it and race it on a Wednesday night. They have a nice sensible reefing. It's actually quite a pretty boat. We haven't got Irish in here. God, it explains an awful lot. Whoa, look at that boat! Woohoo! Yeah.
Once we turned the corner and got into Gillingham Reach, the spinnaker boats, in fact most of the boats, stayed out into the last of the tide that was going out, and to give themselves a bit of room in case the wind came. I decided to cut the corner, hug the mud, and although I wasn't in so much tide, I was at least sailing a shorter distance. And I didn't seem to do too bad doing
Oh, I
that.
think it must be zoomed in there, Izzy. We look a bit close. Izzy's got her own camera today.
Let's take a
Mummy's
picture.
old one, isn't it?
The true wind speed was up in the high teens on this run, so although the apparent wind was probably only low teens, with the odd gust coming through a lot stronger, the jibes would prove to be a bit tricky, or at least a bit tricky for those flying spinnakers. So as we approached Folly Point, I've yet to make my jibe, but I wasn't unduly concerned about it. Having only 2 sails up and a dead run like this, as long as I pulled it up and controlled it, it wasn't going to be anything to worry about. But then I noticed the sonata in front of me starting to weave around a lot, and I'm thinking, he must be going very deep, and maybe he was. But when you look closer, you realise it wasn't just him going very deep, it's because he's ploughing a furrow through the mud. Look how much the bow of the boat is dipping down as the boat is getting dragged through the mud by the sails. Having seen him doing this, and promptly turning right to make sure I didn't plough through the mud, it came my turn to jibe, and it was pretty straightforward affair. So this next green mark, buoy 23, was the next mark of the course, and another jibe. And with the wind whistling through Hoo Creek, again, there were some pretty evil gusts to catch out those flying spinnakers.
Yeah, that is not looking good. Hey honey, good luck with your dive. Here it goes.
One of the more unusual problems I faced in this race was trying to keep cameras charged.
He's putting the GoPro away, charging it up. So there you go, Ian's in a single-handed race, he's not even in the bloody cockpit. My boat's sailing itself, there's no one in the cockpit.
The couple in the Sonata didn't have a lot of luck in this race. This Chinese jibe followed by a broach obviously gave them something to think about, and that following this they decided to get the spinnaker down. Later on in the race, I believe they lost their forestay and had to limp back with just the jib halyard holding the mast up. But I may be wrong. So now, we're pretty much at grain. We've had a few more jibes to get down the river. We've just gone round buoy 13 and we're heading to Stangate Spit, the last downwind mark of the race. And then it's just to turn the corner and a long beat all the way back home.
So we're just coming up to the Stangate buoy, which is the rounding mark, and then it's going to be a beat all the way back to the club line. How exciting! This is where we know if Ian should have reefed or not. So there's Valkyrie, they're in the lead boat at the moment. I think they're one of the largest boats as well. Really good at wind. So this is the second boat round. And Roger and Julie are third boat round. So Dad's got a jibe, he's jibed. That's Ian. And this is the buoy they've been racing round. Stangate buoy, I better zoom out as we... Woohoo!
So we're fortunate on the river. We're basically flat water. We get a fair share of chop. We don't really have any waves. But let's not forget here, the wind was in the high teens, maybe low 20s. The tide's now turned, so the apparent wind we're sailing in is well up into the mid 20s and would punish you if you didn't keep on top of your game. Because I'd let the spinnaker boats and the bigger boats get in front of me, I had my work cut out at the start of this beat. Firstly, a race with reefer. It's a robber design that I believe originated in the Crouch, another tidal river on the east coast, so it's particularly suited to our waters, and they didn't make it that easy for me. At the first cross, I was trying to bear away when I was hit with a big gust and had to crash tack in front of them. I think that kind of got their attention, but as they broached right in front of me earlier in the race on the run, I figure it was just a bit of payback. The first couple of marks, 12 and 14, didn't really give me much opportunity to get past, but then we had to go across to the West Bullock mark, and that gave me a chance to get out of sequence with them, clear my wind and stretch the boat's legs, and we managed to get past. So from the West Bullock mark, it was a fetch down to 16, which really didn't feel that comfortable. On the beach, Seahorse is so well balanced and carved her way to windward beautifully, but on the fetch you kind of feel like she just wants to go a bit quicker. But once we got to 16, we're back onto a beat, and by now we're starting to reel in Solent. It's a big old Dailer. They didn't fly a spinnaker either, so they suffered downwind like we did, but she certainly went upwind okay. Following my experiences with reefer, I decided to tack round the NYC4 buoy straight away, try and get out of sequence with Solent and try and keep clear wind for longer. As we got up between the forks, with not much of the race left to go, I caught right up with Solent, but we had a further curveball thrown into the game in that a large tug was motoring up the deep water channel and we were forced to short tack up the north shore. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but Solent always seemed to manage to tack in my wind. As we got closer to Gillingham Marina and the corner where we turned right, heading back down towards the Solent Dinghy Club, I was starting to run out of options. So I decided to short tack to my last approach to the corner in the hope that I'd get a nice lift and squeeze round the corner, find me that bit of room to leeward of Solent to try and keep clear wind. And it worked.
I think that boat's got to give us more than 2 minutes. Roger!
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh!
Ah!
Oh, Roger! That's very Roger!
That's a good picture though. That's a very good picture though.
those winds and for being all on his own. Really chuffed with that. We're going to leave our boy so Ian can pick this one up in a sec and head back for some lunch. We need to say thank you to Steve for doing lots of steering and helping.
And say thank you for me to take
And
a
thank
load
you
of
to
photos
Izzy.
without dating.
And obviously thank you for Mum and Dad that have disappeared at the moment, but they've obviously lent us the boat. Woohoo!
Flashing, flashing.
So,
Stop flashing at me.
She's flashing. There's a gust of wind coming, Izzy, about to hit us in 3,